Hey, what's up guys? Before we get into the video, I just thought I would show you off the new merch. So this is the new hat for 4th of July, patriotic hat. We also have this shirt. It has a flag right here instead of the tractor. So if you want to get these before 4th of July, if you order them this week, then you should get them before 4th of July. So go ahead and get yourself some patriotic Rocky Mountain Farmer merch. All right, so in this first clip, we had a pivot that had a flat tire and it went across one of our bridges that goes across the canal, and it got stuck because of the flat tire. It wouldn't go up, so they had to pull it out with the backhoe, and then they had to change the pivot tire. Now, we haven't changed very many pivot tires on our own. We usually just have a tire company come out and do it, so this is pretty new to us.
Well, we got a flat tire on the pivot, and we're going to pull it out with the backhoe. Tire's flat.
All right, we just got done filming taking off the pivot tire off of that Hills pivot that was over the canal. Now we're gonna watch Trevor's skills to see if YouTube University's taught him anything.
Probably should have watched the video.
Oh, it's not that bad. I watched a recent video where a girl, like tire changer, pretty small, was throwing truck tires on and off pretty good. You can do it. Don't worry, none of us will help either. Yeah, someone's got to hold the camera. Taryn's not here.
Yeah.
Just keep going around it the same way you just did. No, you're supposed to tell them bigger bites, so it takes longer. There you go. Now just grab it. Oh, no. You should be able to just grab it now and lift up on it. Now stand it up. Go from the back side. Put both bars in there, or maybe just one. There you go. How many people does it take to change a pivot tire? Boom! Got it off. Now we'll get it cleaned up, put the tire on, the tube on, till we continue. So we got it all cleaned up. We've established the direction it's gonna go. The majority of the time the pivots go clockwise. So we don't want it to dig a huge hole, so we put the traction going the opposite direction so it doesn't squeeze all the mud out and make the ruts deeper. So that's the direction we're going to put it on. Now I still don't think we've watched YouTube University, but let's see how well this goes back on. This side, you about should be able to just push on. Don't hit yourself in the face with the bar either. That was a close one, Craig. You know that our tire guy's going to be laughing at us if he watches this video, right? There's the first side on. Now we'll have to put the tube in.
Tube? There was no tube in that one.
Well, I guess we don't normally put a tube in unless they go flat. We don't have to put a tube. Maybe should we check the valve stem, or you think it's good? Okay. Almost got it. Almost got it. Just a few more bars to the face and we'll have it.
No problem, Jeffrey's got it.
And it is on. Now we just have to air it up and we should be good to go. Okay, all right, we got the air put on. It's not going yet, Trevor. Hold up. As soon as we get the air going, Trevor's got the bazooka. And did it work? I don't think it worked that time. We'll pump the bazooka back up again. Air up the bazooka. All right, about ready to try it again. And that time it sounds like it went. Well, maybe not. Did it go? One more bazooka. One more time. Okay, I believe we got the bazooka filled up again. Maybe third time's a charm. Sounds like it's going. We didn't have to use the bazooka again. Yep, it's beating up now. We are good to go. How to change a pivot tire when you've never done it before.
Now this next clip, we have a big swing arm pivot that we did change one of the tires last year, and we have a video on that if you want to go find that, but we didn't change the other one because it wasn't bad yet. So this year, before everything got busy and we could get it up on a nice dry spot, we decided to change that tire too. So that's what this next clip is.
And we got Josh in the backhoe. We got this pivot tire to replace. It's on our big swing arm. This is how you break a bead when you don't have a bead breaker big enough and you don't want to pound on it. As you can see, that's not a little tire. And we got our tire loaded up and we're back out here in the field. It's on this big corner arm of ours. That tire you can see there, that's the one you saw last year we replaced down over the hill. And this other tire was rotten, so we figured we'd replace it while we're right here on nice flat ground. And this is how you lift up a pivot arm that's this heavy. We just get on that main beam with the loader and he lifts it up for us, because this thing weighs, oh, probably 7,000 or 8,000 pounds.
All right, so this next clip, Christopher had to go out and change a pivot tire all by himself because there was nobody around to help him. So it is possible, can be done. So he's going to show you how it can be done.
Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful sunny day here in Idaho, and last night this pivot texted me, told me that it shut off. So I came out here last night and looked at this beautiful pivot. You know, I just looked it over from one side to the other, but it was dark. So I found it. What I found last night was a bad pivot tire rim. Now yesterday we just changed them, and as you saw, I was sitting in the skid steer, and it took 4 guys to change those other pivot tires. So I didn't call anybody to help, but I thought I'd show you an educational video on how to change a pivot tire by yourself, easily by yourself. The hardest part is going to be if those bolts are all rusted on, but I did bring a can of WD-40. Whether or not that helps I'll leave it to you guys. Anyways, I'm going to show you guys how I changed this tire all by myself. I got my tire changing truck here, my rig, load up a 4-wheeler with a tire, a handyman jack, and a block, and a 1-inch breaker bar and impact gun. Anyway, I will show you how I do this. All right, hope that's a good angle. So as again, I'm by myself, so I'm gonna grab the handyman jack and the block, put it on the opposite side of the tire, put it in that little wedge. Just like that. I guess I don't need a jack to take the tire off, you know, it did its job for me. But as you can see, that rim just broke all out. And that doesn't mean that the bolts were gone. It just, the rim started to get fatigued and one spot cracked after another, and it broke. So I'm just gonna move this off to the side so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. Kind of stuck in the mud. Now yesterday it took a skid steer to do this. So granted, it was nice sitting in a skid steer, but if I brought a skid steer out here to do this one was watering, so it'd probably get stuck. And also, if you notice why I didn't help him yesterday, I couldn't get out of the cab. The forks were blocking the door. Now everybody sees these jacks, maybe on the backs of Jeeps or something like that. I think I've only ever seen them used once or twice on a Jeep or a vehicle, because there's never a good spot to jack. But we use them on the farm all the time. Maybe in some ways we shouldn't, but go tell a farmer to use a tool only one way. He's probably not going to buy that tool if he can only use it one way. I think that might be getting close to high enough. So what we'll have to do now because it was in the mud, kind of clean it off so I can get to those nuts. And as you notice, I'm not getting underneath it, just in case that handyman jack does fail. So I'm just going to use the breaker bar, see if I can turn them. Bad part is, yeah, so I was afraid of. That one just broke. They might be fatigued from wearing, so we might have to go get some new lug bolts. Yep, that one broke too. So I'm gonna have to go back and get some new bolts. But we have a new gearbox up there. I can just steal the bolts out of it until we get a new one. Or able to go to town and get some new ones. Yep. So with these breaking off like that, I'll have to get bring a hammer and a punch out just to punch them out and then hammer the new ones in. So the majority of them have broke, but it's, like I said, it's probably come from wear and fatigue. So I'll probably just, there's only 3 left, I'll probably just break them all off and put all new ones in. Okay, to be continued. I'm going to take the old tire, since I'm going back to the shop anyways, I'm going to take the old tire and rim back, grab a whole new set of lug bolts, come out here, and we will resume in a minute. Alright, just in case you were wondering, these tires are not the 600-pound tires. This is a new tire, but it's a lighter pivot tire. As you can see, that comes off and I can move it around pretty nice and easy. We'll just wheel it over here. And then this one. All right, sorry about that, guys. I thought I was filming, but I apparently fat fingered the button and it didn't film. But I had some pipe movers that were just moving some lines of pipe right over there with that run with this pivot. And they actually just stopped by to see what was wrong and what had happened. And so I showed them what had happened to the rim right there, and there were 2 of them, so they just helped me throw the tire up on the 4-wheeler. I have done it a bunch in the past by myself, but you know, when you can have help and not throw your back out, the better. So all I had to do, I went and got new bolts from another gearbox, hammered them out of the other gearbox, hammered them into this one, tightened them down, and I tightened them down first, then I jacked the jack up just a little bit more, and I put the tire on. They're not tight right now. I'm going to tighten them up, and then I'll let it back down. So I will see if I can stabilize this and finish what I was going to do. I went to just move the camera, and I hadn't been filming. I'm sorry. So I'll just tighten them back up, and then we'll let it down. And that should be good. Now we'll just let it back down. Gotta watch out for these handymans when you let them down. Sometimes with this much weight, I don't want to say more weight than they're supposed to have, but sometimes they don't like to work correctly. If I had to guess, this weighs less than a Jeep lifting it up. So that's just a guess, though. I don't really know. Well, there's the handyman. Tires fixed. Block of wood. And that is how you change a tire. Would have been by myself, but I did have some help with the pipe movers. All right, so that is how I changed the tire all by myself, except for lifting the tire up on the four-wheeler with the pipe movers' help. It's really not too bad. I do have a stocking cap on. It is May 31st in Idaho. There was a freeze warning last night. It was a brisk four-wheeler ride. So anyway, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want more educational videos and to see what we do, all the little things we do on a daily basis, like and subscribe, and comment if there's anything else you want to see. Thank you.